Hello friends, it's Miss Angie at the Portage Public Library. Thanks for joining me for the March Crafts Plus program. And this month we are going to be designing our own pencil pouch. And these pouches were generously donated by the Dyke family, so I want to say thanks Dykes for donating the pouches. In the video I'm going to show you what's in your kit this month, what you can do to decorate it, and then more importantly on how to make your own little pom-pom that you can attach to your zipper. So let's get started. All right, let's go over what is in your kit. So in your kit you will have a pencil pouch, and inside the pouch I put a piece of cardboard so that when you use your marker it won't bleed through the fabric and go to the other side. You will have 5 different colors of permanent markers, so you'll want to be careful because they are permanent, so be careful what you're drawing on. You'll also have a bag with some yarn, and then some beads will be in that bag as well. So you will need to provide a scissor so that you're able to cut your yarn. So as far as decorating the pouch goes, that is going to be entirely up to you. You might want to look at what colors are in your bag to help you determine what kind of artwork you want to draw. You could put your name on it. You could draw spring flowers since March. Spring happens in March. You can really draw whatever you would want to. If you have a black Sharpie at home, you could use that to outline some of your drawings. So really that part is going to be up to you. I'm not going to demonstrate that. But what I am going to demonstrate is how to make this little pom-pom. All right, so let me move this off to the side. And first I'm going to show you a few different pom-poms that I made out of different thicknesses of yarn. So you can see this one is a thicker yarn, and it made a really big poofy pom-pom. And then this one was a thinner yarn. And then I made a couple other ones as a sample of how pom-poms can look a little bit different depending on the thickness and type of yarn that you use. So let me show you how to make one of these. All right, so over here I have some yarn. And before I get started, I'm going to cut a piece to use at the end to tie it off. So I'm going to say maybe 12 inches or a little shorter. You're going to want it to be long enough so that you have something to put your beads on at the end. Okay, so we're going to set this over to the side, and you're going to take your yarn and you're just going to keep wrapping it around 3 of your fingers. And you're going to want to go around quite a few times because the more yarn you have at the end, the puffier your pom-pom will be. So if you don't wrap a lot of yarn, it's just going to be kind of a thin looking little pom-pom. All right, so I think that's quite a bit. It might turn out pretty nicely with that amount. So I'm going to just cut it off and get your other piece of yarn, and you're going to carefully take it off your fingers, and you're going to set it across the yarn you cut. And now we need to wrap it around. So kind of center it. Doesn't have to be perfect because we'll be trimming it at the end. And you're going to want to pull it super tight. And then if you can flip it over and tie another, it's not a knot, but we're just going to tie it super tight. And now we will tie it one more time on this side to make a knot. All right, so I don't know if you can see, it's sort of centered. So these 2 strands we're gonna wanna hold to the side because this is what we're going to put our beads on, right? So we'll keep those in our hand. And now can you see all these loops here? That is where we're going to need to use our scissor. So I'm gonna take my scissor, and you need to cut them in half. And you can see it starts to like open up. Okay. Just go along and get all your loops cut. You might miss a couple. You can go back and look for them. See, I missed a couple there. You can look for them with your scissor. Okay, so I think I got them all on that side. I'm still holding on to the 2 pieces. And now I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to cut this side of the loops. I think this pom-pom is going to be pretty large. Okay. Did I get them all? I think there's a couple in here. So you'll just hunt around until you can find all of them. So now if you look at it, it looks kind of crazy. But you know, if that's what you like, you can leave it exactly like that. There was my end piece. I'm gonna cut that off. But in order to get, you know, a little bit nicer shape, this is where you can kind of have fun and you can give your pom-pom a haircut. So you're just gonna take your scissor and you're just gonna kind of trim it around until you get it to be how you want it. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's whatever you like. Like I always say with my art projects, it's up to you on how it's gonna look. I'm just giving you the ideas. Okay, and then you can take it and you can kind of fluff it a little and look at the shape and see if it's what you like. I'm gonna do a couple more trims and then we'll get to how we put on the beads. Okay, I think that's okay. It's pretty large, but that is gonna be all right. And everyone has different yarn in their kit, so you might have a puffier yarn like this, or you might have a more coarse yarn like this one. Okay, so now we have our beads. And in order to make this a little bit easier, I'm just gonna trim those to be the same length. Okay, so now we need to put our beads on. And you could wet your fingers and kind of twist the ends. Or if you have a big needle at home, you could use that. And then you're just going to put the 2 strings through your beads, like that. And I just pushed it all the way to the bottom. And depending on how long you cut your string will probably determine how many beads you're gonna be able to fit on there, right? So I could fit quite a few on here. And then you're just going to want to leave enough at the end so that you can tie this. Oh, see, it's gonna start to fray a little, so we're gonna really twist it so that we can get our bead on there. You twist them together, then they both go through. Okay, so now, say you have all your beads on, you're happy. You can see on the end of this zipper, I tied on this pom-pom. So you want to leave enough of your yarn to be able to tie it on there and to tie it off with a knot so that it will stay on. So you can see that would be quite large compared to the sample that I made. So that's it. That's all you need to know on how to make your own pom-pom. You can practice this at home. If you have yarn at home, you can make a bunch more. And I would love to see your finished design for your pencil pouch. You can send it to Angie at portagelibrary.us. You can bring it into the library and show me in person. I always love to see what you guys are creating. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next month.